friends, in this video we have to discuss about OSI model. I am Professor Barbudhe. Basic of OSI layer. OSI stand for Open System Interconnection in a reference model that describes how information from software application in one computer move through the physical medium to the software application in another computer. OSI consists of 7 layers and each layer perform a particular network function, particular task. OSI model was developed by International Organization for Standardization (ISO) in 1984, and it is now considered as architecture model for intercomputer communication. OSI model divides whole tasks into 7 smaller manageable tasks. Each layer is assigned a particular task. Each layer is a self-contained, so tasks assigned to each layer can be performed independently. Characteristic of OSI model. In this OSI model is divided into two layers, that is upper layer and lower layer, that will provide the responsibility of the host, responsibility of the network by two layers, that is upper layer and lower layer. First, the OSI model provide upper layer. OSI model mainly deal with the application related issue and they are implemented only in the software. The application layer is the closest to the end user. Both the end user and the application layer interact with software application, and upper layer refer to the layer just above the another layer. The lower layer of the OSI deal with the data transport issue. This the data link layer and the physical layer are implemented in hardware and the software. The physical layer is the lowest layer of the OSI model and closest to the physical medium. The physical layer is mainly responsible for placing the information on physical medium. Then function of OSI layer. The function of OSI layer will be divided into 7 parts as per your previous discussion. That OSI layer consists of physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer and application layer. That divide work. Physical layer, it provides the physical medium to which bits are transmitted. Then data link, it is used for the error-free transfer of data. The network layer responsible for moving the packet from source to destination. Then transport layer, it provides the reliable message delivery from process to process. Session layer, it is used to establish and manage the terminate this session. Then presentation layer responsible for transmission of compression and encryption. Application layer, this layer is provide the service to the user. Physical layer. Physical layer, function of the physical layer will be provide line configuration, data transmission, topology and signals. First, you have to discuss about the physical layer. The main functionality of physical layer is to transmit the individual bit from one node to the another node. Yes, this point to this point, and it is the lowest layer of the OSI model. It establishes and maintains and deactivate the physical connection. Then it specifies the mechanical, electrical and procedure network interface specification. Then function of the physical layer. First, line configuration. It defines the way how two or more devices can be connected physically with the help of this line configuration. Data transmission, that will define the transmission mode, whether it is simplex, half duplex, full duplex mode between two devices on the network. Then topology, it defines the way how network devices are arranged. Then signal, it determines the type of signal used for transmitting the information. That will be the Function of physical layer. Data link layer. Data link layer will responsible for error-free transfer of data frame. It defines the data frame format of the data on the network. It provides the reliable and efficient communication between two devices. It is mainly responsible for unique identification of each device that resides a local network. It contains logic link control layer and media access control layer. First, we have to discuss about the logic link control layer. It is responsible for transforming the packet on the network of the receiver, that is receiving. It defines the address of the network layer protocol from the header. It provides the flow control. Then media access control provide a media access layer in the link between logical link control layer and the network physical layer. It is used for transferring the packet over the network. Then function of data link layer. Function of data link layer, that will be the framing provide header, packet and trailer. Physical addressing will be the function provided by this flow control, error control and access control. First, you have to discuss about the framing. The data link layer translates the physical raw bit stream into packet known as frame. The data link layer add the header and trailer to the frame. Header, which added to the frame, contain hardware destination and source destination. The physical addressing. The data link layer add a header to the frame that contains destination address. The frame is transmitted to the destination mentioned in the header. Flow control. Flow control is the main functionality of data link layer. It is a technique through which the constant data rate is maintained on both sides so that no data get corrupted. It ensures that the transmitting sessions such as server with a higher processing speed does not exceed the receiving station with lower processing speed. Means that will focus on flow control. Then error control. Error control is achieved by adding a calculated value cyclic redundancy check that is placed to the data link layer trailer, which is added to the message frame before it's sent to the physical layer. If the error seems to occur, then the receiver send acknowledgement to the retransmission of corrected frame. Means that will provide the error control. Then access control. When two or more devices are connected to the same communication channel, then the data link layer protocol are used to determine which device has control over the link at a given time. That is called as an access control by data link layer. Then network layer. Network layer, it is a layer that manage device addressing, track the location on the device on the network. It determines the best path to move data from source to destination based on the network condition, the priority of the services and the other factor. The data link layer is responsible for routing and forwarding the packet. Router are the layer 3 device. There is specified in the layer that used to provide the routing services within the internetwork. The protocol used to route the network traffic are known as a network layer protocol. Example of protocol are IP and IPv6 that will be provided with the help of network layer. The function of network layer: internetworking, addressing, routing and packetization. First, we have to discuss about the internetworking. And internetworking is the main responsibility of the network layer. It provides the logical connection between different devices with the help of internetworking. Addressing: a network layer add a source and destination address to the header of the frame. Addressing is used to identify device on internet. Routing. The routing is the major component of the network layer and it determines the best optimal path out of multiple paths from the source to destination. Means which path you have to choose with the help of routing are decided. Packetization. A network layer receives a packet from upper layer and convert it into packets. This process is known as a packetization. It is achieved by the internet protocol. Then you have to discuss transport layer. Transport layer. The transport layer is a layer number 4. Ensure that the message are transmitted in the order in which they are sent and there is no duplication of data. That will be the role of transport layer. The main responsibility of the transport layer is to transfer the data completely. It is receive the data from upper layer and convert them into smaller unit known as segment. This layer can be termed as an end-to-end layer as it provides point-to-point connection between source to destination to deliver the data reliably. Then it has provide two protocol in used in this layer, that will be the transmission control protocol, user datagram protocol. First you have to discuss about the transmission control protocol. It is a standard protocol that allows the system to communicate over internet. It establishes and maintains the connection between hosts. When data is to be sent over the TCP connection, the TCP control divide data into smaller unit known as segment. Each segment travel over the internet using multiple routes and they arrive in the order of destination. The transmission control protocol reorder the packet in the correct order at the receiving end with the help of that transmission control protocol. Then what will be the role of user datagram protocol? The user datagram protocol is a transport layer protocol. It is an unreliable transport protocol as in this case the receiver does not send any acknowledgement when the packet is received. The sender does not wait for any acknowledgement. Therefore, they makes a protocol unreliability. Then what will be the function provided by the transport protocol or transport layer? That will be the servicing, service point addressing, segmentation and assembly, connection control, flow control and error control. First you have to discuss about the service point addressing. Computer run several programs simultaneously. Due to this reason, the transmission of data from source to destination not only from one computer to another computer but also from one process to another process. The transport layer add a header and contain the address known as a service point address or port address. The responsibility of the network layer is to transmit the data from one computer to another computer, and responsibility of the transport layer is to transmit the message to the correct process. Segmentation and reassembly. When the transport layer receives the message from upper layer, it divides message into multiple segments and each segment is assigned with a sequence number that uniquely identify each segment. When the message has arrived at the destination, then the transport layer assembly the message based on their sequence number. Connection control. Transport layer provide two service, connection oriented service and connectionless service. Suppose you consider the connectionless service treat each segment as an individual packet and they all travel in a different route to each the destination. And if you consider the connection oriented service make a connection with the transport layer at the destination machine before delivering packet. In a connection oriented service all the packet travel in the single route. Why? Because that will be the connection oriented service. Then flow control. As we have previously discussed about the flow control, the transport layer also responsible for flow control but perform end to end rather than across single link. Then error control, as we have previously discussed about this, that error control, the transport layer is also responsible for error control. Error control is performed end to end rather than across the single link. Central transport layer ensures that the message each reach at the destination without any error. That will be the role of error control. Then next layer will be the session layer, and that session layer, that we have to discuss about the function of session layer, dialog control and synchronization. First, the session layer is used for establishment and maintain the synchronization, the interaction between the communication device. Function dialog control, the session layer act as a dialog control that create a dialogue between two processors, or we can say that it allows communication between two processors, which can be either half duplex or full duplex. Synchronization, session layer adds some checkpoints when transmitting the data in a sequence. If some error occurs in the middle of the transmission of data, then the transmission will be takes place again from checkpoint and is known as a synchronization and recovery. Presentation layer, the presentation layer, a presentation layer is mainly concerned with the syntax and semantics of information exchange between two systems. It acts as a data translate from network. This layer is a part of operating system that convert the data from one presentation format to the another presentation format. This presentation layer is also called as syntax layer. Then function of the presentation layer, translation, encryption and compression. Why? Because that will be the presentation layer. Then the presentation layer process into system, exchange the information in the form of character, string, number and so on. Different computers use different encoding method, and presentation layer handle the interpolability between the different encoding method. It convert the data from sender dependent format into common format and change the common format into receiver dependent format at the receiving end. Then encryption. The encryption is needed to maintain the privacy. Encryption is the process of converting the sender transmitted information into another form and send the resulting message over a network. And compression. The data compression is the process of compressing data. It reduces the number of bits to be transmitted. Data compression will be the important in a multimedia such as text, audio and video for reduce the size. Then application layer. This will be the last layer of your OSI model. An application layer serves as a window for user and application process to access a network. It handles issues such as network transparency, resource allocation, and application layer is not an application but it is perform the application function. This layer provide a network service to the end user that will provide two functions: file transfer access and file management. Mail services, the file transfer access and management. An application allow a user to access file in a remote computer, to retrieve the file from computer and manage the file in a remote computer. Then mail services, then application layer provide the facility for email forwarding and storage. Directory services, an application provide distributed database source and it used to provide the global information about a various object. Okay, have you understand about the OSI model? Thank you very much for patience.